Hi, and welcome to Chapel. I'm your Senior Chaplain, Mr. Whitington, and today we have a special guest to help us go deeper in our theme of compassion. Meet Scruffy, our local compassionate specialist. Hi, Scruffy. Hey, Mr. Whitington. Whitington? You British? I think that's the origin of my last name, yes? Hello, Governor, Mr. Whitington. Was that supposed to be a British accent? What do you mean, supposed to be? I nailed that. Indeed. Moving on. I've had a few comments from our students over the past few weeks. A big one that kept coming up was, what do I do if I don't actually want to be compassionate? Or another one, I don't want to be guilted into compassion. How would you respond? Nice fire, by the way. Thank you. Response? Well, first of all, no one wants to feel guilty, but if we're not compassionate, we're missing out. Missing out? How so? Because of all the studies, Mr. Whitington. Studies? What studies? Here are the top 10 scientific reasons to be compassionate. First, it makes us happy as getting money. A brain imaging study by the National Institute of Health shows that the brain pleasure centers are as activated when we see money going to charity as when it's given to us. Second, it makes us happier than buying things for ourselves. An experiment by Michael Norton, published in Science, shows that people tend to be happier, Mr. Whitington, when they give money to others than when they spend it on themselves. And Elizabeth Dunn, in a recent study, also stated that the same phenomenon also occurs in 2-year-old children. Didn't know that. Third, it makes us attractive. But not like that. In a study on dating preferences, both men and women rated kindness as most important. Fourth, it uplifts everyone around us. Jonathan Haidt at the University of Virginia found that seeing people helping each other creates a state of elevation. Ooh, I like that one. Fifth, it spreads like wildfire. James Fowler of UC San Diego and Nicholas Christakis of Harvard demonstrated that generosity and kindness can spread out to others as a chain reaction. Why do you only have grey on one side of your beard? It looks asymmetrical. It's putting me off a little. You do too. I think it shows how wise I am. Yes. Speaking of wisdom, you said you had 10 scientific reasons? We've only had 5 so far. Ah yes, number 6. It boosts our health and longevity. Several studies show that people who help others and have a positive connection to others are healthier and more resistant to illness. 7th, it gets us out of our ruts. So like anxiety and depression make us self-focused. Helping others when we're feeling blue can help pull us out of our sorrow by turning our focus on others and gaining perspective. It's actually a cracker. 8th, Mr. Whitington, it's the most natural thing. Infants automatically show helpful behavior, and Stanford Business School also finds this behavior in adults. Didn't know that. 9, it gives us more time. Zoe Chance found that spending time volunteering makes us feel like we have more time and more money in life. 10th, it's good for the environment. Being kind is good not only for ourselves, but also for our society, community, and the world. Okay, thank you for these. They're actually quite helpful. Cool. Look, I can see there are benefits to being compassionate. How would you respond to people not wanting to be guilted into compassion? Well, no one likes guilt, but conviction is good. Conviction? Yeah, sometimes we should be convicted to think outside of ourselves. But I do agree, guilt should not be the main motivator, and it usually doesn't motivate for very long. Well, that's actually quite profound. Well, what is a good long-term motivator? Well, people are more likely to show compassion if they've been shown compassion. See, when we're shown compassion, Mr. Whitington, we often naturally want to pass this on instead of being guilted into it. But what if people haven't been shown a lot of compassion? Well, this is the beauty of Jesus. At the heart of the story of the Bible is that God becomes human and he engages with our suffering. He suffers like we do. He walks alongside us. This is what compassion is, to walk alongside the suffering of others. So you're saying that God gets it. He understands. He's not detached. Exactly. That's pretty unique. It is. God hears the cries of his people. And as we learned last week, his posture towards us when we suffer is like one of a parent to a child. So when we truly realize he is compassionate to us, we can be compassionate towards others out of a response to love and not guilt. Aren't you the senior chaplain? Shouldn't you get this by now? That didn't sound very compassionate. I'm convicted. That's all we've got time for today. So with your mentor, we hope that you enjoy reflecting on all of the benefits of compassion, and that being compassionate is actually made easier if or when we see the compassion God has shown us in Jesus.